Where's the thing to watch on YouTube? There it is. Make sure we're live. And yeah, we're live.
Says you're live.
So I am joined today by the useless cook, rebel, cookie.
Yeah, you can call me whatever you want.
Whatever. I am joined today by whatever you want.
Yep, how goes it?
It goes all right. I did not give him a chance to review the stuff that we're going to be talking about. So he's blind to it, which means I can make his mind malleable to whatever the hell opinion I decide. Because it's that easy. I'm basically a journalist.
Oh yeah, you control the narrative.
So how you doing today, Useless?
Yeah, alive and kicking. You know, can't complain, but I always do.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead before we get too far into it.
All right.
Send a message to Will. There we go. So first thing, I don't know how people have not learned by now that Black Lives Matter doesn't care if you're with them or not. Here's a short video.
Yeah, that.
So y'all didn't care if this was a black-owned gas station or not?
Hell no.
This is my shit, yo. I was protesting with y'all. Think I just broke in my shit.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck y'all.
They ain't lying though. They breaking the wrong foot.
So y'all didn't care if this.
So yeah. You notice those key words in there? I was protesting with you.
Mm-hmm. They don't care.
Yeah.
They just want to destroy shit. That's all.
That's 100% it. I actually have a meme for this. I don't have it readily available. I do have a meme for this. But yeah, they just want to destroy shit and they just want to get free shit. And it doesn't matter if it's you they're taking it off of or if it's like anyone else.
Well, most of the people protesting are middle-class white kids anyway.
Yeah, I saw another meme. It was like, what was it? They were saying that it was like a Waldo, Where's Waldo thing, but harder to find a black person in a Black Lives Matter protest.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's just these soy boys want to, act like they're all tough and revolutionaries. That's why I call them the soy shirts.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't find it. So, yeah, it was a meme where it said a looter taking their much-needed supplies to home to feed their child, and it had the guy holding his baby up with a shoe, a Gucci shoe in the baby's mouth.
Oh yeah, that was a Nike shoe.
It might have been Nike.
Yeah, I remember that one.
So yeah, I don't really have this organized as well as I usually do. I had to rush to get this together because it was 9:04 by the time I realized what time it was.
So professional.
Yeah, definitely professional as fuck. Interesting thing though. Are you this surprised? Iran is behind hack attacks, online disinformation campaigns to boost Biden. Wait, you mean the guys who were mad that Trump bombed their terrorist organizing piece of shit leader? Like, not the leader of Iran, but the leader of creating these terrorist cells.
Yeah, General Soleimani.
Yeah. I didn't feel like even mentioning douchebag's name.
Sorry.
No, it's free country, dude. You mention what the hell you want. I just didn't feel like it because I didn't think it was worth it for me to utter the words, the syllables.
I mean, I'm not sad that he's dead. I'm kind of glad,
Yeah, it was definitely a good thing for humanity.
Oh yeah.
So
Kill
are
a
you
lot of
that
people.
surprised? You that surprised that dude fucking drone strikes Trump drone strikes one of their big people. They're real pissed about it. So they start doing hack attacks to get his opponent elected.
Yeah. So are they going to investigate Biden for that, like they did Trump over Russia?
Oh, they should.
Yeah.
But I think there'd be a little more weight in it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Should be.
Yeah, the Islamic Republic is betting on Biden's campaign, according to regional experts and U.S. officials tracking the country's efforts to sway the presidential contest. Wonder what U.S. officials exactly. They're probably not going to
Yeah.
say.
Probably not.
Cyber experts.
Mhm.
I'm sure it's not the CDC though.
Yeah. They probably let China do it for us.
Oh, I'm sure China's in on it too. Like the
Yeah.
sweetheart deals that Biden and Obama gave China compared
Oh,
to fuck you, China. You screwed us over for the last time. You
Oh,
know.
he ain't gonna do that.
No. That's what Trump's doing.
Yeah, that's Trump. Yeah.
Whereas Biden is like, hey, let's do this deal that really royally fucks America over, and you give me $1 billion, and we'll give you a great
Yeah.
trade deal.
Yeah. Just like Obama did for his 8 years.
Oh, and
Following
let's
his
go ahead
footsteps.
and you trust me, you will not hear another word about those concentration camps in American media. I guarantee you that's exactly what Biden would do.
You already don't hear about him anyway.
You do hear about them, just not enough.
You just hear about the cages down the border, you know.
Oh yeah, if fucking Biden gets elected, they won't even have to do any maintenance on them whatsoever, and you won't hear a fucking thing about them again.
Yeah.
Not until some Republican gets in charge.
Blame it on him again. Yeah.
It's all his fault, even though we started it. I've come to learn that if you want to know what a Democrat is guilty of, look at what they're blaming others for.
Yep. Projection at its finest.
Yeah. Definitely very true. The phone's almost dead.
Oh. Yeah, but I'm not surprised
Sorry, I
Iran's
got a
doing that.
charger right here. What?
Alright. I'm not surprised Iran's doing that, though. They've been trying to start shit for a while now.
Yeah. I mean, they keep coming at us like, oh, we're so hard, you're nothing, fuck you. And it's like, bruh, we have the most advanced military in the entire world.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll
What
wipe
do
up
you
their navy
got?
out in like 5 minutes. We'll wipe up their navy out in 5 minutes, you know.
Wipe out their navy with like 1% of our navy.
Yeah. Well, the same goes for China's navy too. You know.
Yeah, I remember the one thing it said, like a breakdown of all the aircraft carriers in the world. And then when it got to the end of that, it went, and the US also has 11 aircraft carriers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not even counting the super aircraft carriers.
Oh yeah. We got them all.
Even keeping track of the happenings with George Floyd?
Not really.
Not really. Huh. There's some
No.
very interesting news that just came out.
Oh, I thought it was done and over with.
No, they're still going through the court case and everything.
Okay.
The judge in the criminal case against the former cops accused of killing George Floyd disqualified the county prosecutor and his staff from participating because of sloppy work.
Oh.
By the way,
How
look
sloppy
how
were they?
diverse these people are.
Yeah.
Like,
It's an Asian, Hispanic, and 2 white guys, you know.
oh no, it 100%. It's all about race. Like they're clearly white supremacists.
Once they're cops, y'all become white supremacists, you know.
Yeah. I bet I haven't had a chance. I honestly haven't had a chance to check through all these sources. This was one of them I didn't really get to deep dive into, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same one that withheld the body cam footage.
Oh, yeah.
Because you saw that when that came out, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
For those of you that did not see the body cam footage from the George Floyd case, the motherfucker was resisting every step of the way.
Yeah.
And he was screaming, "I can't breathe," before he was ever on the ground. And trust
Yep.
me, medically, there were no outside forces preventing that man from breathing when he started screaming about it.
So maybe a fistful of drugs,
Yeah. Well, I meant like anyone else.
Yep. I don't know, man. They just want an excuse to go riding. They don't care if, a young black person gets killed for sitting in their car for doing nothing. A criminal gets killed. Yeah, they care then.
That's another thing that ticks me off about that whole movement. Like, they're
Yeah.
not even picking anyone that's good. So the closest they have to a decent martyr is Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, don't shut our house for doing nothing.
Well, they don't just hand out no-knock warrants for nothing.
Yeah.
So, and I will completely agree that no-knock warrants are bullshit because that's how you get people killed. Because if someone breaks into my house, I'm gonna fucking shoot them and then go, "Oh fuck, that's the police."
Yeah, they're supposed to announce themselves first.
Although, from what was said about that case, they knocked and they screamed before even though they had a no-knock warrant. That's only what the cops say, though. There's no hard evidence of that I know of, and if anyone has any, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if someone breaks into someone's house, cop or not, they're probably gonna get shot at, and if it's a cop, they're gonna shoot back. It's tragic, and that's why a no-knock warrant should not be a thing.
I think what was his name? He's Contrary Pillam. Oh, I forgot his name. He was getting harassed the other day.
Who?
I think was it Red Paul, something like that. He was getting harassed. He's the one who's trying to do that.
Oh,
get rid of
Rand
him.
Paul. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rand Paul created the Breonna Taylor Act.
Yeah.
And they were harassing him and yelling, "Say your name." There's that comic that was out. "Say your name." And he's like, "Well, actually, I wrote up the Breonna Taylor Act ending no-knock warrants." And the guy, the protester, takes the bill and lights it on fire. He says, "I just wanted you to say her name."
Yeah, they don't care about actual. They just want to bitch and moan. They don't care about actual change.
Yeah. I do have to apologize. I'm not bringing my A game this particular stream, mainly because Monday I was 9 lectures behind for my exam yesterday.
Oh, so you're stretching yourself thin, huh?
Oh, yeah. I just... Oh, it was rough. My head was killing me. Absolutely killing me. Why are people talking in my chat? Okay. I still had my bot up from Twitch.
Oh. You keep things together, Uni. You're supposed to be professional.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna be on a better schedule for my classes, so that'll be fine.
That's good.
It's just I didn't expect it to be like that. What up, Lushin? I didn't expect it to be like that because there were 10 scheduled lectures, and I had to get 14 lectures done within that time period. And so, granted, I was even behind from that, but they also crammed more in than they gave us time for.
Yeah.
Now that I know the schedule, I know how to handle it,
That's good.
Yeah. So you remember how the media and people all over Twitter and all that kept saying that, "Oh, Antifa's just an idea. They're not a group. There's no, how do I sign up to Antifa? who's the leader of Antifa? You know, I'm sure you got that a lot at some point, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is oh my god. Antifa is an organized group.
You
DHS
could tell,
confirms.
yeah, you could tell that by the snack fans they had at every protest, you know?
Yeah. Like the fact that they try to gaslight people to that extent just it blows my fucking mind. I don't understand how anyone could look at all of the shit that's going on with these riots and all the stuff that Antifa has been doing since Donald Trump got in office and go, oh, those are just, a ragtag bunch that just happen to be wearing the same thing. There's no organized group. It blows my fucking mind.
Well, you know, deflection.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they fucking do every time. Let's see if I can pull up the document. Can I copy image address? Will this work? Oh, good. So, team, read the entire email, acknowledge receipt, call myself for questions, comments. Starting now for Portland, replace the V.O. I don't know what that is exactly. Definition accompanying or FIRS and OSERS to violent Antifa anarchists inspired. Why? Myself and something and A leaders have been reviewing the Portland FIRS and OSERS baseball cards of the arrested and FINT, as well as the ops info. The individuals are violently attacking the federal facilities based on those ideologies. We can't say any longer that this violent situation is opportunistic. Additionally, we have overwhelmingly intelligence. We have overwhelming intelligence regarding the ideologies driving individuals towards violence and why the violence is continued. A core set of threat actors and are organized, show up night after night, share common TTPs, that's tactics. I don't know what the other T is. I know what the other T is. I've drawn a blank. And the other is plans.
Yeah.
And drawing on like-minded individuals to their cause. So essentially, TTPs are just where they have something in place where they're like, all right, if this, then that.
Yeah.
And this handwriting is as bad as mine, so I can't read it. Threat actors who were motivated by anarchist or Antifa or a combination of both ideologies to carry out acts of violence against state, local, and federal authorities and infrastructure they believe represent authority or represent political or social ideas they reject. Brian Murphy, Acting Undersecretary for Intelligence. So let's go ahead and pull up Brian Murphy. See what it has to say about him.
Well, you know, the Antifa is doing the same tactics that the Nazi Party used to do when they first started.
I believe it. All right, so I just did a search for Brian Murphy DHS, popped right up. DHS.gov. So we can verify Brian Murphy is the Acting Undersecretary for the Office of Intelligence Analysis. Checks out to me. Antifa are most certainly the brown shirts. They're the new KKK. I don't know how else you can say it.
It's like I said, I call them the soy shirts for a reason.
Yeah, well, I mean, the tactics back in the day when the KKK was first formed, they were mainly against Republicans, not necessarily black people. The first, I believe, 26 black congressmen were Republicans, and this was shortly after the Civil War. The Dixie Democrats hated it, so they would raid Republican rallies to grab black Republicans and lynch them.
Yep. Like I said, the KKK party was started by the Democrats. Which to say was Jim Crow. It's Jim Crow and everything too.
And the Antifa is following the same tactics. Go to pretty much any Trump rally. you'll see them parked outside assaulting rally goers, you know?
Yeah. Like that black Trump supporter got murdered. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Hey, even that one white Trump supporter got murdered, and they were all trying to say, "Oh, that was self-defense."
Oh, you saw the video? No, it wasn't. The guy stalked them.
It most certainly wasn't. You're right. And then they turn around and say, "Oh, Kyle Rittenhouse murdered those people."
Yeah.
He literally ran as much as he could until he was left no other option, and then fired at the people. What more do you
Yep.
want from someone?
Submission.
Yeah, submit. Be
Yeah.
lynched.
Yeah. The mob knows best.
Did you ever see Vosh's take on that?
No, I don't really like that guy.
Oh yeah, I fucking hate that guy too. But he was getting in a debate with Destiny, and he was saying
yeah.
he was saying pretty much that if you're about to be lynched, you submit to the mob because you're gonna end up killing more people if you don't. He was pretty much saying that until you said, wait, so you're saying if a black guy's about to be lynched, he should just submit? No, he should do everything he should. Like, how do you
double
do
standards.
that? If Vosh didn't have double standards, he'd have no standards at all.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers
comes
defending
cuties.
cuties too.
Yeah, I
You
know.
were just
I
about
saw
to say
that video.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
My
That made me
favorite.
sick.
Yeah. My favorite though was whenever he was watching that Jubilee video where about the rape culture, and he's like, "Tell me we don't have a rape culture when the majority of women are asked, were you raped?" And most of them stick around and sit down, and the rest walk out, and every one of them's got a rape story, and it's because women don't come forward because they're not believed. And then Sydney Watson's like, I was raped, and they were saying that there was nothing they could do because it was cultural differences. And his immediate reaction is, shit. Like, switch just like that. It's incredible.
Yep.
I think I'm actually going to save this other source for a different night because it really needs a deep dive. The First Amendment case for freedom from the woke religion, because I'll show it on the screen. Look how long this is. This has a table of fucking contents. I think it needs a deep dive.
It's something for Will to do.
Yeah, me and Will. This is actually his source.
Yeah.
And you see how long I've been scrolling, and I'm only to here.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so that'll be another night. I think it'll probably get its own episode. That's the ideology that Trump banned when he banned critical race theory in the government, in the federal government, which the CDC is saying no to. I just found that out today, and I don't have a source for that. We'll talk about that next week as well. Oh, hey, Will's here.
Yeah.
Hi, Will.
There he is.
Hey, sorry guys. Sorry.
It happens.
Oh, I should be saying
I
sorry to you.
have no excuses. None. Any excuses I gave would be lies.
Well, normally I'm done with stream half an hour early, and you are only about 15 minutes late from that. So, yeah, I lost track of time. It sucks.
Yeah, and he gave you sources like the last minute too.
I did, yeah. So that one source that you gave, I think we really are going to have to do a deep dive on it. The First Amendment case for freedom from the woke religion.
What, you're asking me?
No, I'm telling you, we're going to have to do a deep dive on that because that's like an entire episode in and of itself.
It's multiple episodes. That is actually books, like plural.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Because you've got multiple for any, I don't know who's in on it, on what we're talking about here, but James Lindsay has been kind of attacking the woke critical theory crowd, and he's advancing the position, which is not unique. Other people have said this, that it basically constitutes a religion unto itself.
Oh yeah.
And so then the
Sargon's
question
real
is,
big on that.
if it is a religion, then that means via separation of church and state, the government cannot advocate for it any more than it can advocate for Christianity or Islam or Buddhism or whatever. And so then the question is, okay, sure, but can you define it as such? And so then you've got to get into this big question of like, what is a religion, which the Supreme Court has gone out of its way not to define. So the Supreme Court doesn't want to define what a religion is, because frankly, they just saw how complicated that was. And they said, yeah, I've got golf to play, so no.
That sounds about right.
Maybe like somebody else wants to figure this one out. So it like there's a book just like figuring out like actually what a religion is, and that's going to be like proper philosophy going into that. So that's gonna be somebody's fucking philosophy career, is to figure that shit out, and then then you've got to connect the A to B. So it's difficult. So yeah, we won't be able to do it justice no matter how hard we try.
Yeah, I mean, I do really want to get deep into that. I want to. It looks like a prime piece of meat that you just want to dig into.
Just motorboat it. Just.
So we did get through a few of the sources already. I think the last one we did was the DHS, finding Antifa to be an organization.
Yeah. Barr was talking sedition. That was hot.
Oh.
I love
Did you hear
Barr.
that?
I really love Barr.
Well, I mean, he's been tarred pretty hard by the his various opponents. So he's got
his job.
Yeah, and the fact that people actually believe it with the video evidence of the Democrats being absolute douchebags, it's just crazy. Like when they did that hearing on him.
Mm-hmm. I yield back my time.
Yeah, I reclaim my time. It's crazy.
They weren't asking questions; they're just accusing him.
Well, yeah, they were accusing him with questions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like essentially, why are you a Nazi piece of shit? I reclaim my time.
Yep.
Speaking of bullshit the left does, videos of Biden touching young girls flagged as child sexual exploitation by Twitter, despite being official public footage.
That's hot.
I love the video that the image that they used for that.
Yep.
This is one of the more popular ones because the expression on the woman's face is priceless.
Wait, is it a woman?
Yeah, it's a woman.
Oh,
she's wearing a
It's a girl.
dress.
Well,
I think she's a woman. She doesn't look like she's that young.
I think I would have guessed probably about 16.
A teenager.
No.
Yeah.
No. She's 30 if she's a day.
Oh.
But still that
Either
face.
way. Yeah, that face is like, I don't like this. What are you doing?
If I hold still, will he go away? Somebody whispers in her, just let it happen.
I wonder how many women that he's whispered that in their ears.
I don't know. He's a little touchy-feely. He does it with his whole family, though. So, I mean, in fairness, I don't think Biden's actually creeping on anybody with this.
Well, I still find it weird that he kisses his granddaughter on the lips.
Yeah, his whole family is doing this, so it's just what they do. There's so many legitimate things you can go after Biden for.
I honestly think
he is senile now.
Yeah, he's had
That's
two
fair.
aneurysms operated on. 2 brain aneurysms. Yeah.
Is that confirmed?
That's what Donald Trump Jr. wrote a book and had that in it about Biden.
Okay, let's carry on. I'm gonna do Googling.
yeah, that's great. I appreciate that. So the thing is, I honestly think the guy is a pedophile. I think it's a bit more than just creepy, touchy-feely. I honestly think he is. But, the only evidence we have is him sniffing and touching girls inappropriately in public.
Yeah.
We don't have anything beyond that, which is, I guess, good. I mean,
Can't confirm he was on Epstein's plane.
Yeah, so
Wait.
1988, he had 2 life-threatening brain aneurysms. So that's a fact.
yeah. And considering that, it's no wonder that he can barely string together a sentence. Considering that and his current age.
Yeah.
And lifelong politics,
Yeah.
Did you see that fact-checking thing that I think it was Snopes did it, where it was Trump said, "I've done more in 46 or 47 months as president than Joe Biden has done as 47 years as a politician."
Yeah.
They were like, "No, it's false. He's only been president for 46 months."
Yeah, no, I call it argumentum ad autism, to argue from the position of autism, where somebody, you say the trees are on fire or the forest is on fire, and they point at one tree that isn't on fire, and they say, "No, untrue. That tree isn't on fire."
That's so true.
Yeah.
I was
That's
having
like-
one of those arguments on Twitter recently. I was saying 1/5 of the coronavirus deaths come from 5 states' nursing homes, and the other guy goes, "Well, then that means the other 4ths are Republicans."
Yeah. Right. I accept. What's the point? No, I don't know what it is. I mean, have the autistic always been with us, or is this a consequence of all the Adderall that we're giving kids that's causing some like developmental disorder? What's going on with this?
That is a very valid point. It could very well be all the Adderall.
Does Adderall cause autism? I think this is a serious question. We should investigate it.
I mean, because it is just a different package for meth. And you're
I don't
giving
know.
it to children.
They gave me Ritalin when I was a little kid. I was only on it for like 2 years, and I didn't laugh for 2 years. I was a fucking zombie for 2 years.
I used to take just to get high.
Yeah, no, it didn't do that to me. It made me a robot.
Oh.
Like I didn't care about anything. I didn't care about
it does
anything.
that too.
And I didn't smile. I didn't laugh. I was a fucking computer. And it was, it's a miserable way to live. And I don't. What does that do to entire generations of people? Because you're looking at these people on Twitter, and I genuinely think that a lot of them don't realize what they're doing. And so then what am I supposed to think? Like, this many people are fucking stupid? I mean, I can accept that, right? There's a certain proportion of the population that's stupid, and I've found all of them. But still, it's you wonder if we're maybe making ourselves retarded with this stuff.
I mean, it is definitely a possibility, and it does seem like it's right on schedule for when we started medicating children for being hyper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying
kids shouldn't be hyper.
Yeah, I'm not saying that like some kids didn't need the help, but dude, you could get Ritalin or you could get Adderall on the street at one point for like a quarter a piece, and I'm talking like 25 cents. And
yeah, but
I don't know any
kid who didn't buy it. He's just selling you his meds.
Yeah, but like still, it was that plentiful, where it was like the supply was so much over the demand that it was worth it to them to be like, sure, here you go, give me a quarter.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and then I'm sure somebody else was fisting the shit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna eat $10 of it right now.
And I'm not gonna go to sleep for a week.
Right.
Yep.
Climbing around on the ceiling.
But you know what they probably did after they had those transactions? They probably wiped their phones.
Yeah, yeah. This is amazing. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. This has been a repeated. This is exactly what happened with the Lois Lerner scandal. Do you remember that? There's the IRS scandal where there was some conservative group or whatever that was handing out copies of the U.S. Constitution. I know
Hmm.
those monsters,
Yeah.
and they couldn't get tax exempt status because, of course, handing out copies of the U.S. Constitution for free is clearly a taxable enterprise, right, guys? Right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's what the IRS was sticking on. So they this organization took them to court, and they said, "What the fuck?" And the IRS said, "Oh, we're just we're thinking about it and pending and paperwork in our budget and blah blah." Of course, at the same time, a whole bunch of other organizations that are doing dramatically more partisan things, possibly more complicated finances, they're flowing through the IRS no problem. And
Yeah, this is
so,
Obama using ours as a weapon.
well, I don't know. I don't know if Obama had anything to do with it because a lot of times what you get is these different activists in different parts of government who just independently do crazy shit. So
Okay.
they subpoenaed the chick that was responsible for approving this thing. Her name was Lois Lerner, I think. And of course, oh, there was a computer crash. Oh no, oh, my emails are gone. Oh, I'd love to comply with the subpoena, but computers and darn computers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it took them years to find the emails that had been deleted because they hadn't been. And do you know the server they found the emails on? This is good.
Hillary's.
Uni, guess the server. I like games. Guess the server they found the emails on.
Fuck, I don't know. I would most certainly say a private server.
The original server that they were stored on in the first place. They, in fact, they never went anywhere. They just said that they were deleted.
Oh yeah, we deleted that.
And
It's fine.
the chuckleheads in the judiciary didn't subpoena the IT guy apparently. Just like
Oh.
Chet, you're
Well, I
responsible
guess
for
it's
this
gone.
server, right? And he's like, yeah. He's like, so can you not find Lois Lerner's emails? He's like, yeah, I don't know why people keep saying that. I brought them here on a USB stick. Do you want them? It's like, what are you talking about? People keep saying this. I don't know why. It's weird.
Yep. That's what they do.
Yeah. Well, while you were gone, one thing that we were talking about, typically, if you want to know what a Democrat's guilty of,
Yeah,
just look at what they're blaming other people for.
it's true. So many people.
Yeah.
It's like all those gay evangelical preachers. Homosexuality is the devil. I know because I sucked the devil out of that trucker's dick.
Yeah,
It's
it
like,
usually does happen.
dude, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. No, God.
So, possible news on the Wu Flu front. Now, take this with a grain of salt because we've got nothing that's concrete evidence. Chinese virologist claims she can prove COVID virus was made in Wuhan lab.
It's so much worse than this.
What's that, Will?
It's so much worse than this.
You think?
Yeah. Well, because we've got the documents that the National Institute of Health published. They were doing peer-reviewed studies on doing gain-of-function research in the Wuhan lab. So the only way that this wasn't being made, I'm not saying that the virus that got released into the wild was made in a lab, but we were totally making human infectable or whatever coronavirus in Wuhan and they were documenting it and publishing it so that they could get, academic attention for what they were doing. And the person to talk to on this, if you, what the hell do I know, right? Is Jones. He understands the medical terminology a little better. So there's this whole series of circumstances that they exposed the coronavirus to teach it how to reproduce in human cells. So coronavirus has been infecting human cells since always, but it's generally speaking completely retarded, and it's not able to do anything. It just basically just goes in, fucks up, and leaves, and it can't reproduce in our system. So what they did was they put the coronavirus this sort of battery of circumstances where they progressively taught it baby steps. It's like a reverse vaccine. Baby steps taught the virus how to reproduce in human cells. And the notion, this was, let's principle of charity. Let's assume these guys are being nice, right? What the idea was, this is going to happen in the wild naturally somehow, eventually. And when it does, we want to have a body of research ready to go. We might want to have some vaccines ready to go that we can adapt a little bit, and then we can just nail that thing right before it becomes the next big pandemic, because they thought coronavirus could be the next big pandemic. But they created it. Now, did the virus that they made get out in the wild? I don't know.
That's where there's no concrete evidence.
But
Yeah.
the coincidences here are fucking thick.
Yeah.
Right when they were doing it, that's when this happened. And it happened in the exact place where they were doing it. It's not like they were doing the research in Switzerland, and then the virus naturally did its thing in Wuhan. And it's not like there's like years apart where like it, they figured it out, 10 years ago, and then the virus gets released in the wild or something, or does this thing in the wild 10 years later. No, it happens in the same fucking city where you're doing it at the same time.
I mean, I've been saying from the beginning of this virus, like, I would not be surprised if this was an engineered virus that got out.
Yeah. No, and it complicates the geopolitical narratives that are popping around. So obviously, the United States is very much in a fuck China mood.
Mm-hmm.
And we very successfully have said, well, China, you're a hairy asshole regarding coronavirus. Most of the world largely agrees. But the National Institute of Health is an American organization. Now, even if the National Institute of Health, was responsible to some extent, CCP did cover it up, and the lab was supposed to be a class 4 viral lab, and it was like a class 2, maybe, for kind. So that's on them. But basically, it starts to shift a little bit of responsibility on the United States for a global pandemic. So that's where things start to get a little saucy.
Yeah. It gets a little saucier even still when you look at the responses that some politicians have taken to this virus, this outbreak. One of which, my own governor, who I think motherfucker needs to resign. I'm not sure if it's incompetence or malice, but he done fucked up, and he done fucked up bad. And I'm not the only one who thinks it. 2 separate sources, Reason and The Hill.
Oh.
Federal court rules Pennsylvania's lockdown orders were unconstitutional.
Well, we told them from the start.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of understood it at first when the virus was very scary and we needed to learn more about it. But then as the numbers started coming out, I was like, no, this is bullshit. We don't need this.
No. I mean, 200,000 dead ain't that bad, all considering.
Well, especially when only 6% of the numbers have no comorbidities. And
Yeah.
we're not counting being over 75 as a comorbidity,
Yeah.
even in the 6% number.
Yeah, I mean that's its own thing. Wait, the 6% didn't include people over 75, though. It was just 6% who didn't have any comorbidities and weren't over 75.
No. Being old was not considered a comorbidity.
Yeah, but they did still separate it in the CDC numbers.
They did, but the 6% number does not.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure they had
Well,
counted
then
that
I'm
as its own
confused.
thing. Maybe we can double check it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did not count being over any age as a comorbidity.
I don't recall. So
I've
Keep in
kind
mind,
of
the probability of not having another comorbidity when you're over that age is very low. So at a certain point, it's just going to happen anyway.
yeah.
But if you're a
Yeah.
relatively healthy 75-year-old, technically it's possible that wouldn't be cited as a comorbidity.
crap. I can't even find the source now.
Okay, we got rid of it.
If someone wants to look for it, that'd be great.
Oh man.
Well, I'm on my phone, so I can't. So.
I was actually talking to one of the viewers.
God damn it! I was doing dishes. All right, let's
now,
do this.
So it doesn't actually look up percentage on Discord.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, you put 6% and it just looks up 6. It's definitely after July. You would think it would have popped up when I looked up CDC in our conversation, Will. Because I shared the source with you.
Yeah.
I think it was, what, 4 episodes ago?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but you didn't say it was unconstitutional from the start, you know.
Yeah, I can't really
mask
argue
orders,
that.
stay at home, and shut down businesses while government kept their businesses open. You know, like there was an article of the government gym in the buildings staying open while gyms had to close. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and of course, Pelosi getting the haircut.
I've made it to Kyle Rittenhouse, but it's not part of our conversation. Found it.
There you go.
So, Table 3 shows the types of health conditions and contributing causes mentioned in conjunction. Here, I'll pull it up. Give it its own thing. Table 3 shows. Am I showing it? Yes, I am. Table 3 shows the types of health conditions and contributing causes mentioned in conjunction with deaths involving coronavirus disease 2019. For 6% of the deaths, COVID-19 was the only cause mentioned. For deaths with conditions or causes in addition to COVID-19, on average, there were 2.6 additional conditions or causes per death. The number of deaths with each condition are shown. Okay. All right. Will was right. So it does, in fact, count the elderly into that 6%.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, being crazy old is not a comorbidity, apparently. So you'd be like 95 and you're like, oh, that's not a comorbidity.
That's wow. That makes that number even less threatening.
That's my point.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was less threatening with just without even including age in it.
Yep.
Goddamn.
And then you're just like, okay, now you're just pissing me off.
Yeah, like there was absolutely no reason for this. What the hell?
Well, you know, the thing that really
here's the thing that
chaps my ass about this whole thing This is it. So, okay. So just to frame this a little bit, when we had 9/11 and planes flew into the Twin Towers, what made us safe? Was it that the government freaked out and that they started checking everybody's shoes when they were getting on the plane? No, no.
That actually didn't
What
save
happened
a single life.
was that everybody in America, literally on the day, like before even all the planes had crashed, had changed their protocol regarding a hijacking. So remember the last plane, the one that was supposed to go into the White House. So there were 4 planes, remember, right? There were 2 that went into the Twin Towers. There was 1 that went into the Pentagon, and there was supposed to be a 4th one that was supposed to go into the White House.
And it crashed in Somerset County in Pennsylvania.
Exactly. And it crashed because what happened was the people on the plane realized what was going on with these planes. What people think was going to happen with a hijacking prior to that was, we're going to fly to Cuba and we're going to get let off there and it's going to be a giant ball ache, but nobody's going to get hurt.
And they're going to ransom us off.
Whatever. Yeah, there's going to be some stupid bullshit. It's a story we get to tell each other, right? But no, what they figure out is, no, we're all going to die. We're all going to die. And not only are we going to die, but they're going to use our lives and this airplane to murder other people, to damage, not just to kill people, but to hurt the country on top of everything else, right? I mean, you hit the Pentagon, you hit the White House. This is a big deal. And so there was a change on that plane, and what happened was everybody all the passengers on the plane daisied the terrorists who were, slashing their box cutters left and right. Fucking old ladies don't care. They're like, "You'll never take me alive!" Ah! This is the whole thing. Just wave over these people, right? You can't take us all, and that is why we're never going to see another hijacking like that in the United States ever again, or at least not until we forget that. Because the instant anyone tries that shit, the entire plane is going to go crazy. I don't care if you've got a fucking machine gun. It's not going to work. You don't have enough bullets, bitch.
They won't even need to go crazy, though, because we put the marshals on the planes after that.
Yeah, you got the marshals. That's fine. I'm telling you, you could have the marshal could not be on the airplane, and it still wouldn't work. You could give the terrorists, they had box cutters. You could give them Uzis. It wouldn't matter. How many bullets do you have in an Uzi, right? There are 200 people on this plane.
Yeah.
It's not going to if everyone realizes I am already dead. The only question is how I will die.
Yeah. Am I going to go out a bitch, or am I going to,
that's it.
Spoil this douchebag's
There's
plan?
no reason to be safe because I'm already dead. I'm already dead. And you get that into your head. You had stockbrokers and little league coaches and soccer moms rush the terrorists. And so how this relates to COVID is what was happening with COVID initially was we had no fucking idea what the hell was going on with it. And so they thought it was influenza, or that it was to be treated like influenza, which is why they were talking about the ventilators and all that kind of stuff, because the ventilators work well for influenza. And so they were ventilating people, and it was killing them. It was a big part of what was killing them. And so now what's happened is that the medical profession knows how to treat people with COVID. So the fatality numbers, everyone wants to hyperventilate about the cases. Fuck you. Look at the mortality rate. The mortality rate is a fraction of what it used to be. The mortality rate was way higher initially. Because what was happening was the doctors didn't know how to deal with it, and they were accidentally, I'm not saying the doctors are bad guys, they were doing their best. Yeah. They were killing their patients.
Information they had.
Because they were being given bad information, they didn't know what to do. But now they've learned, and people are not dying really from COVID anymore. Well, and so it's a completely different virus insofar as its mortality stats are. All of us could get COVID, okay, and the bad kind, where you might have died previously, and we're not going to die now because the doctors will take care of us in the way that they wouldn't have at the beginning of this. And no one is focusing on the fact that the doctors have learned.
One thing that really pisses me off about this, especially from people in the medical field, is the just damnation of hydroxychloroquine. Just because Donald Trump read an article and said, "Hey, this looks promising." There is actual, what's the term here? There's actual evidence, and you can make sense of it as to why it would work. Because the thing is, when people were getting the Wu flu, the immune system was going into overdrive, causing the vessels to cinch down and just inflame. And that was causing all that same shit to bounce into each other, going through this smaller vessel with the same amount of shit and causing it to clump up and shoot clots. Well, hydroxychloroquine is amazing at handling inflammation. But they demonize that shit just because Orange Man bad. And you could have saved so many more lives if they didn't do that.
That's what they do. They hate Trump.
Did you see the hilarious thing where they were talking about the mystery? This is pretty funny. They were talking about the mystery of scientists are puzzled by the mystery of why Africa doesn't have a COVID-19 outbreak. Now, something you may not know about Africa is they hand out hydrochloroquine in Africa like Skittles.
Yeah, from malaria and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you show up with a basket on your head and name the country in Africa and you say, I would like some hydrochloroquine, they're like, oh, here you go. Have a 10-pack.
Oh, gee, I wonder why Africa's not having any problems. Initially, I thought it was because they didn't have the testing for it. But that definitely makes sense.
No, the other thing with it is that it makes it more difficult for the infection to happen in the first place of the cells because it attaches itself apparently to the hemoglobin.
Okay.
Huh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah, neither did I.
Well, the whole concept of it regarding malaria is malaria is a parasite, right? It's a little parasite swimming in the blood, and it wants to attach itself to the hemoglobin because it eats the hemoglobin.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
makes the
what the hydrochloroquine is basically doing is it attaches itself on there. It makes it hard for the parasite to do so. But even if it does, it's poisonous. So what the parasite will do is it'll eat the hydrochloroquine and kill itself.
Okay.
So we only really
That
have
makes sense.
one more topic.
All right.
You know who didn't die of coronavirus? And this actually just came out today.
Oh.
Yep.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
It's the worst
Shit.
time for her to die.
Why do you say
Yeah.
that?
I would have wished that she would have died years earlier or like a year later.
Yeah,
I mean,
after the
years
election.
earlier would have helped Oklahoma out a lot.
Unfortunately, she just died
Yeah.
in time to make the election that much more contentious. That's all she accomplished. So,
Do you think Trump? They're probably not going to let Trump get someone in
no way.
soon
way.
enough.
No. So it's going to
Well,
be
they waited last time.
it's going to be the next president, and so yeah, no, she just basically lasted just long enough to make the election contentious. That's it. This is not a no one wants to brag or crow or whatever about some old lady dying, but on top of that, this is not helping Republicans. It would have been better. I mean, if she had died a year earlier, or a year later, yeah, you can make an argument for that. But right now, no, because all this is doing is this is making the Democrats that much more determined.
Well, what she actually ended up dying from is her pancreatic cancer. Yeah. Metastatic cancer of her pancreas. She'd been struggling with that
She got
for
rid
a
of it.
while now.
Yeah. She got rid of it and it came back like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
She's a real old lady.
She was.
Yeah.
She was. Well,
She should retire a long time ago.
Well, the main reason she didn't retire, at least within the past 4 years, is Trump. And she flat out has said as such.
It's not unusual for Supreme Court justices to stay on the bench until they die of old age.
Yeah. I mean, it is a lifetime appointment. Either that or until they go, all right, I'm done. And I don't think too many of them go, okay, I'm done.
Well, especially since a lot
Yes,
of them are in there and they nurse some animosities such that they're like, well, I just need to outlive that bastard, you know. And so it continues with
Yeah.
these nursed hatreds across generations.
Yeah.
Silly shit.
So, we do need a feel-good story. This is actually a short one. I'm really sorry that I have not put as much effort into it as I usually do.
You're phoning it in, huh?
Like I was explaining to Useless, I was 9 lectures behind as of Monday, and I had an exam yesterday.
Oof.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't put as much effort towards it as I usually do.
Yeah, there's no judgment over here, man. I didn't even show up on time.
Oh my god, well, quit judging me, okay? Let's see, what do we got uplifting in the news? Electrician comes to repair lights for 72-year-old, then enlists the entire... Oh, yeah, that sounds nice. That sounds really nice. Okay, so an electrician comes to repair lights for a 72-year-old, sees the condition of the house, and then enlists the entire community to fix her crumbling house for free. Look at that.
Oh, neat.
That's nice.
And that must be her. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get enough of that in this world.
Yep.
I wonder if she put together the cookout, or if they were like, "Hey, thanks for helping out. Let's all cook out together."
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, it's a thing to do. You know, there's a lot of angry people out these days, and it's nice to just kind of stop and remember.
We really are, and
See,
I just, I don't think this has ever been a prevalent thing in the news, but I feel like this kind of shit happened a lot more before.
No, I mean, it happens a lot. It happens a lot whether the news covers it or not. But the line out of the news: if it bleeds, it reads.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with the police brutality stories. They get a lot more coverage than the cop doing an excellent, amazing job.
yeah. Well, it's just news entertainment now. That's all it is.
It really
News
is.
entertainment. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's like different genres of entertainment, right? So, when you go to see a movie, do you see an action movie or do you see a romantic comedy? Well,
I mean, that depends on who you're taking on the date.
I suppose it does, but in the action movie, there's usually a bunch of bad people doing some bad things, and some people get hurt, and then the hero has to come in and save them, and all that. But there's kind of a backdrop of pain and violence occurring, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're an entertainment news station, what would an action news thing be? Well, it would be bank robberies and people attacking people and war,
And mostly peaceful protests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people liberating some bread.
All right,
Those were very peaceful.
What happened was her last name's Scott, so they just referred to her as Scott. She didn't have money to pay for an electrician. Well, she barely had money, like scraping by. John Kinney, an electrician, got called by her to get the lights on because her lights turned off and she just couldn't live in the dark anymore. He showed up and saw that she had no lights or running water, and the house is not in good shape. So he put together
Social Security doesn't.
Yeah.
Social Security doesn't give you enough money.
He put together a Facebook page called "Nice Old Lady Needs Help" to solicit other tradespeople, and people came and they fixed her house up for free.
That's wonderful.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, we get 0 debates between Biden and Trump. How is that normal? They're actually what is it? 3 they're expecting?
We'll
Yeah,
see.
there has to be.
I'm
I
not.
don't.
There doesn't have to be. There's nothing in the Constitution that says there has to be a debate.
I'm not holding my breath, but yeah. I believe Biden agreed to 3.
There was actually a period of time when we didn't really do debates for a while.
yeah?
Yeah, because Richard Nixon did a debate with JFK, and it was a weird situation because apparently everybody that heard the debate on the radio thought that Richard Nixon won, and everybody that watched the debate on TV thought that JFK won. It was just a different sort of impression of what happened just based on whether or not you were just listening or whether or not you watched. And the big deal with Nixon is he was a little awkward and he was like sweating and whatever. And JFK looked very polished and confident and whatever. And that a lot of people resonated with that. They're like, oh, well, he's way more confident, so he's clearly won the debate, I guess, something like that. But anyway, the consequence of that was that for years after. People were like, yeah, we're not doing a debate because fuck you. and so they just weren't doing it. I think it got going again sometime in the mid 70s, and it's been pretty consistent since then.
It's not gonna happen, but I really wish Biden would accept the Joe Rogan offer.
No, they've already made it clear they're not going to accept him because what they've done is they've painted Joe Rogan as a Nazi.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
And they completely left out the fact that Joe Rogan has been very critical of Trump too.
Well, what's great is it creates this this kind of Tulsi Gabbard effect, where you get somebody who's a little out of sync with whatever they're doing, but just a little out of sync. That's it. And then they get attacked. And then like, okay, you know what? Fuck you. And it changes their entire impression of things. So Tulsi these days is much more strident in dealing with the Democratic Party than she was prior to being treated that way. Now she's mad. And she's going to be mad for the rest of her life. That's what they did. They got an enemy for life by doing that to her. And Joe Rogan is a very, very social media savvy guy with a very big social media presence, all that kind of stuff. And he's seeing everybody turn on him. And he's understanding, okay, this is what you are. This is who you are. Now I understand. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's really dumb to make an enemy of Joe Rogan, though. He's got the largest podcast in the world.
Yeah,
Liz Mano was bitching about that.
Who was?
Liz Mano. She was bitching about that. They get more views than she does.
Well, gee, I wonder why. Well, miss, believe all women unless they claim that Biden did something.
Yeah.
No, yeah. So their idea. Look, they did the same thing to PewDiePie. Remember, PewDiePie's a Nazi.
Yeah. Because he told some jokes.
That got a lot of people going. No, there's something wrong with you guys. I've watched his content for years. Like, what the fuck, man?
Mm-hmm. No, but the thing is they will, and the thing is that they tip their hand because a whole bunch of people have been, and I'm not saying everybody that they call a Nazi isn't a Nazi. That's a thing you got to be a little careful with. Okay?
Yeah.
Because you're going to run into some David Duke motherfucker who, you don't want to be on the same side as that guy. But but no, they're just very callous and cynical about deploying these character assassinations, and so sometimes it takes something that little more obvious like this for people to realize exactly how it works. There's no integrity to it in most cases.
Oh no.
God, I think it was the Southern Poverty Law Center had that hate map. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and it doesn't. In this year, it doesn't say there's a single death from left-wing extremism.
Not only that, but they were citing like everybody as being hateful. So like hilariously, there was a whole bunch of Jewish groups that were being cited as hate organizations. So you got like an Orthodox Jewish guy, and they're going after this guy. You're a hate group, and it's like, well, why? Like, because you won't let like a gay pride parade go through the middle of your synagogue. And it's like that's what hate is, eh? Okay. And a whole bunch of like Christian groups, obviously, as well. I mean, all the religious groups that are just want to kind of distance themselves
Not
from
Muslim.
that. A little bit, but yeah, no, you're right. But less of that. No, again, you're right. It's cynically deployed.
Hmm.
Really is. It really, really is.
Well, it's like the
Anyway.
ACLU sitting on to defend free speech anymore.
All right,
Yeah,
so I
no,
got
exactly.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I downloaded this today. I saw it before. I'm sure you guys have seen this too. Let's go ahead and pause. Nope, not pause that one. Pause that.
Political scene, one of the Democratic candidates is Senator Joseph Biden. Have you seen the problem he's been having? He went around and made a speech. And apparently, he quoted I think it was a British politician, took his speech and kind of paraphrased it as his own.
This actually happened.
And then the press got on him. And then he was charged also with taking part of Bobby Kennedy's speeches.
Also happened.
And Biden says, not to worry. He reassured his staff. He said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
And that was a joke. It didn't actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I found that quite amusing when I saw that video right before stream.
No, that's what
So-
that's what killed Biden's political career back before he was an ancient. Is that he got caught plagiarizing a bunch of speeches, and he got sidelined, and he wasn't able to climb his way back into the limelight until the Barack Obama administration. You know,
But Doc, are you saying that the guy talking was Biden, or that he was talking about old Biden? Because that wasn't Biden back then. Biden was actually, I'm pretty sure at that time, younger looking than that guy.
yeah,
Is that
that's-
Bob Hope?
No, it's Johnny Carson.
Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Same time period, pretty much.
Sure, no, Johnny
Right.
Carson was a television fixture back then.
Yeah. He was, late night TV show host that you could actually trust, I guess. I think.
What?
We're actually funny.
What's the late night guy that's basically a car collector now? What's that fucking guy's name?
Leno. Jay
Huh?
Leno.
Yeah, Jay
Jay
Leno.
Leno's
Yeah.
car collector.
Right, yeah. So yeah, he Jay Leno took over after Johnny Carson, I think. What,
Oh,
and,
okay.
and then Jay Leno was doing it forever, and now I don't know who they got, like Seth something. I don't know who the hell. Seth Miller.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't watch any of this shit.
I think it's
They're
Meyer.
all trash now.
Yeah.
Every one of them. I watched the one, John Oliver, and I watched about 5 minutes of it, and I was impressed. I didn't know you could fit that many lies, like blatant lies, in 5 minutes. I did not think it was possible. And I've watched a lot of political shit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He even went as far as still quoting the very fine people quote.
Yeah. No.
And this is recent.
No. John Oliver is trash. There's a whole bunch of them that are like this, and they do themselves no favors with it because they're not funny. To be funny, you have to make being funny the most important thing.
That
Right.
became painfully obvious when they started doing their shows from home.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's
When
writing
you
no jokes
take-
for him anymore.
When you take the laughing audience out, that they don't see a sign going, "Hey, laugh at this so it seems funny."
Yeah,
You
or please
realize
clap.
just how bad they are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
No,
did you hear John Oliver had an issue with what town was it? Danbury.
Oh yeah, that was
Danbury.
that was funny.
He said they were all simpletons, and he wanted to fight
Mm.
every one of them, women, men, children. Because they named a sewage treatment plant after him.
Well, no,
Nice.
that was their response to him shitting on them.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I said.
Yeah.
And they named a sewage treatment plant after
Right? Yeah. So he attacked him. I think it was for like jury selection.
Mm.
That's why he was mad at Danbury, Connecticut. He was like, "You don't have enough black people on your juries. Fuck you." I was like,
Danbury,
dude, do you know how many black
Connecticut.
people are in Danbury, Connecticut? Shut up.
You can
And-
probably count them on 2 hands.
Whatever, yeah, like they're the only people that are allowed to be on the jury. Apparently, they show up every day. But that was his complaint against Danbury. So Danbury's just sitting there, not bothering anybody. And national media personality John Oliver comes in, like pinwheeling at him like a fucking coked out 12-year-old, and like, why? And so he says all this stuff like, "Fuck you, Danbury, Connecticut," and they're like, "Okay, well, we've got a new sewage treatment plant, and we're naming it after you, John Oliver, because we think it's going to probably be full of at least as much shit as you are."
I feel like John Oliver's probably full of more shit than that sewage treatment plant.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably a modern industrial facility. It could be quite competitive.
I've never seen so much shit packed into 5 minutes. That's all I'm saying.
No, and the thing is, it's not funny. That's the thing. When you look at good comedians, like you look at Dave Chappelle or something, what he's trying to do, what a good comedian is trying to do, is be funny. That's the main thing. And,
I mean, I can be funnier than John Oliver really easy. I actually came up with a really good joke recently. I don't know if you've seen it or not, Will, or heard it or not, Will. Useless, I'm pretty sure you haven't. It was the other day I was describing myself to this lady, and she just starts reading out of nowhere and flipping out and saying, "Oh my God, do not use the term petite. It's a sign of the patriarchy and it's anti-woman. Use the term feminine." So I said, "All right, well, like I was saying, I've got a feminine penis." Like, that's funnier than John Oliver, hands down.
No, it is because what you're trying to do is you're trying to be funny. That's what you wanted when you said that. You were willing to take a shot at yourself, right? You were willing to because what you wanted was to get a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sacrifice you place on the altar of the comedy god, you know. But when you go into that whole thing saying, "No, you're going to laugh at me, or laugh with me, and we're going to ridicule somebody else, and it's going to be to promote my partisan politics," well, you're not honoring the comedy god now. You're not honoring the laugh. You're not going after the chuckle. You're now trying to promote your politics, and that's a different game. Yeah. It's a completely different game. You might make a good argument. Maybe you're going to stand up and you'll make a good political argument. That's possible. But you're not going to make me laugh, though.
Yeah,
you surrendered that.
I think we've gotten to
a goal anymore.
I think we've gotten to a pretty good stopping point. I know this is short compared to usual. Where was this last week when I actually needed it to be short? Or not last week, the week before.
It's good. We shouldn't do 4 hours. That's too long. No one's watching us for 4 hours.
So, Useless, would you like to plug your YouTube channel?
Oh yeah, you watch my cooking channel over at the Useless Cook. You know, I try to make a video every Sunday, but lately it's been kind of hard because the heat.
What's the most interesting thing you've made on the Useless Cooking channel? Come on.
Let me see. I made some honey cookies.
Honey cookies?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some spiced pickled apples. Or honey pickled apples.
All right.
And some really Philly cheesesteak wontons. Those were pretty good.
Wow, Philly cheese. Okay. See, you should have opened with that. You put that in the back. You opened with the honey cookies. That was depressing.
Well, the honey cookies are my most viewed video, though.
Are they really?
I think it's just you're bigger now than you were before.
That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, there's that too. But you also check me out on the Zoo.
Video?
I don't know. The Philly cheese wontons. That was interesting. That's it. I don't. Maybe
that's my favorite most.
Yeah, maybe I'm just a perverse Californian, but I hear that kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm like, okay, there we go. Now you're trying.
No, that does sound delicious. I did, whenever I grabbed that link that I tossed into chat, just saw he's 5 subs away from getting a custom URL.
Ooh.
Yeah, almost there.
Yeah, so we got 5 people viewing in here. If we can get all 5 of them to sub, Useless has a custom URL.
All right. Well,
Oh, yeah.
put it in chat. Put it in chat.
I already
We're gonna-
did. I'll do it
Yeah,
I
again.
think he means private
There you
chat.
go.
I think he means a private.
Okay.
Well, you want me to DM it to you?
No, no,
Boom.
no,
There
no,
we go.
no, no, no,
It's
no.
too-
No, I got
I hit
it.
enter.
I got it. You did everything. You're beautiful.
I hit enter before you said
You are
no.
stunning and brave. Stunning and brave.
Yeah, but you can
Who
also
am I
check
to
me out on
subscribe?
Minions of Zoo every now and then.
Which are you doing
Yeah.
that?
I'm doing that
sometime?
tonight at 8:30.
Yeah.
8:30 my
okay.
time. So
Which is the same as Will's time.
yeah,
So in about an hour.
Bum, bum, bum. Greek fajita.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
nothing but take you to the YouTube homepage.
So wait. So did the tzatziki sauce happen on this?
no, it's just pita bread instead of tortilla.
Oh, you faggot! No, you have to go. You have to go with the tzatziki sauce if you're gonna go Greek.
Maybe
Oh,
it's pain in the ass to
reference.
make by scratch.
Yeah, you gotta make some hero sandwiches. Just make some heroes, and you'll understand the glory of the fucking hero.
Duck, I
Yeah.
DM'd it to you if that worked. I mean, he could always do that as a separate video.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do plan on making something like that.
I'll warn you. If you're making the tzatziki sauce, don't blend it. Okay, just mix it. Be gentle with it. Don't mash up the cucumber. It's gonna release a bunch
Yeah.
of water, and it'll make the tzatziki sauce runny. Don't do that. Okay,
Yeah.
you want to be gentle with it, and that way it'll gel and it'll stick in. Because otherwise, it just runs out of the side of the sandwich, and it's gross. It's got to stay in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now you know.
Yeah, Will can definitely give you a lot of pointers on cooking, especially sushi.
Oh,
All
I gotta get
kinds
some
of stupid
equipment to do
shit.
sushi though.
No, you don't. No, you don't. It's
Plus, I don't live near
it's a Japanese burrito. It's very easy.
Yeah, it is.
How many
Hmm?
cents a
Well, the
roll did
issue-
you say it was?
What was that?
How many cents a roll did you say it was?
I don't know. Let me work it out again. It depends on some variables, but let's see.
I feel like it
See,
wasn't double digit cents.
No, I mean it's. I'm just figuring out the number here.
Right, what were you about to say, Useless?
Well, I was gonna say the main problem with sushi. I don't live anywhere near a fish market, so I can't get fresh fish.
Nope. You fool. Get.
I don't want to use frozen. I don't want to use frozen.
Yeah, you should. Do you know that all the fish at the sushi restaurant is frozen?
Yeah, I know. But
But everybody loves them. Well-
But they know the source where they get it from, though, too. So
Yeah, the ocean.
No, are you sure they're not growing it in a lab? I mean, I saw they made meatless meat.
No, look.
Yeah.
If you're doing sashimi, you care a little bit more about the texture of the fish and all that kind of stuff and the way it looks a bit more.
Yeah.
But if you're putting it in a sushi roll, nah.
okay.
Just you put some wasabi in there. You put I don't know what other things you put in there. I like to put in cucumber and carrot and avocado and stuff in there. That makes me happy.
Yeah, avocado's gross, so.
Oh no, come on!
Wait,
It's the
what?
vegetable world's answer to butter and cheese.
I never thought I would hear a Californian say that.
Was Useless California?
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
the
Well, I'm
first
Californian
Californian
slash
I've
Texas.
ever heard say that.
Oh wait, you're in Texas? Is that what happened?
Well, I'm both. I'm California and Texas, so.
Okay. See,
I
that's
lived
the
in-
Texas side right there.
So
Yeah.
Useless. Duck just gave an idea for maybe
So
a video you could do
by the way,
on,
about
on April.
17 cents for like little piece that you put in your mouth.
Mm.
But it should cost about $4 for like a big meal. So like 3 or 4 rolls should be about $4. All of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you go to the restaurant, it's like $20.
Well, yeah, or you go to the grocery store and you get like those little packs there. So it'll be like $8 for like 1 roll, but you can get 3 or 4 rolls for the same price you make it yourself.
So, Duck has a suggestion for an early early April video.
Well,
For your duck viewers, it said best recipe: take some bread, now leave it out for a week or so, and then eat it. Bread a la stale. If you have a
Yeah.
duck pond, that'd be even better nearby.
well, bread is actually bad for ducks.
Oh.
They sure love it though.
Yeah.
Wow. So what does the duck community think about what Useless just said about you guys not getting bread?
I'm pretty sure that Useless isn't getting a custom URL now.
Oh, you just blew it.
Oh well.
You just blew it. Well, I subbed.
All right. Well, next week,
Thank you.
we're going to be having a bunch of more interesting stuff and probably a bit longer. Well, maybe this seems like a good time, actually. About an hour and a half. I'm down with that. That seems good.
Yeah.
But it'll definitely be more organized for sure. Maybe we'll do a deep dive into the Church of Wokeness. Maybe we'll do a bunch of sources. Time will tell.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess what you want to do, you call it a deep dive, but I would see it more like a survey. So you want to just kind of, over a course of 4 hours, just kind of touch on that article?
That's fair. I mean, deep dive as in like how we do with our articles is just very superficial. We read through them, we discuss them, and then we move on to the next article.
Right.
Whereas this one, we would be spending a lot more time in it,
Yeah. Yeah.
We could do a special stream.
Yeah. That's a difficult subject. There's a lot going on there. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to get my bubble pipe.
All
Your
right.
smoking jacket, huh?
Yep.
Well, we will be back next Friday, barring any issues. We should really come up with some kind of outro thing, like "Be good to each other" or something,
Yeah. Yeah. Be excellent to each other.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Whoop.